I'm going to show you one of Google's really cool AI tools. This is called NotebookLM, and it is absolutely awesome. So those using ChatGPT and Gemini, those are great AI tools, and they have so much possibility, and they can help you out in so many ways. But something you have to keep in mind is when you use one of those tools and you do a prompt or you ask it to do something, the information that it pulls from is from outside your computer or your supplies or your materials. Basically, it's searching everywhere to come up with those answers from what it has learned over all of the time that it has existed. The difference is NotebookLM is almost like a small ecosystem. It will only search the materials that you give it. In other words, it doesn't go online to look, or it doesn't learn from past prompts of other people or even yourself. It only knows to answer the prompt from the information you give it. So I'm going to show you an example of how this works. And what's really cool is this makes it so that if you were doing a research paper, your information is kept into a shield or a bubble, and that's the only place it will look. So I'm going to show you what you do. If you go to notebooklm.google.com, you can do this in a personal account or your school account. I'm going to create a brand new notebook. So I'm going to click on this icon right here or the icon right up here. So either one, I'm going to click on a new notebook. First thing it does is it says, where do you want me to search? What resources do you want me to look through to find the information that you want? This is different than many of the other AI chatbots and things like that, where it just already has the information and wants to give it to you. So you can do things like you could actually copy and paste something that you've written and paste it right in. You could use a website that you know about or a YouTube video. You can put that in. I'm going to have it work from some files that I already own in my Google Drive. So I'm going to click on the Google Drive. Now, once again, you can use any of these. You are allowed to create 100 notebooks, and each notebook can have up to 50 different resources. And there's a limit on the size. I could be wrong, but it's like 10,000 characters per resource or something like that, or maybe 10,000 words. I can't remember. So don't get too carried away, but you can have up to 50 resources in each notebook, and you can have up to 100 notebooks on a free account. So I'm going to go down to my Google Drive. And I'm going to go to my drive, and I'm going to find where I have some things stored. So I'm going to just look up some SIPA, COPA, and FERPA information. So I have these 4 PDFs. They could be slide decks. They could be documents. They could be just about anything. Right now, as of my recording, sheets don't work, but I'm sure that that's coming at some point. But really, it'll read just about anything. And I'm going to go ahead. I've selected these 4 documents, and I'm going to click the Insert button. And you can see over here on the left-hand side, they're uploading. And as they get uploaded, it is going to give me a little synopsis of what this stuff is. It's also going to name it for me, which is kind of cool. I can change that name just going up here. Go right up here to the top. Take away these regulations and resources. I don't want that. I just want it to be SIPA, COPA, and FERPA. That's cool. Whatever. So there's my new name. Here's kind of a little once over. I could go down here, and just like any other AI chatbot, that bottom box is where I put my prompt. So I could say, give me an overview. And what that's going to do when I hit this little arrow is take my 4 resources, it scans them, and it's going to spit out to me an overview of what it is I fed it. So there we go. Here's what it told me. It gave me a nice little chart. What is it? So it's going to give me some information. Now, the one thing, if you've used ChatGPT and Gemini, it automatically saves all of your results. You do have to go over here to the right and hit Add Note. If you want to save this information that it gave you, click the Add Note, and it appears over here on the right-hand side. So now we're all set. So now I've got my new note right over there. This is all saved. So this is cool and all, but what's really nice is if you play in the studio area. So over here to your right, you can make a video about this, and it creates a very short video. Now, this you are limited on how many you can do. I don't really use this that much, but I'm sure that there's a great use for it. You can do reports. So it can basically do a report from the information that you submitted to it. You can do cool mind maps of how things work and they're related. You can make flashcards for studying. You can even make yourself a quiz for studying. But the most amazing one here, the one that I think is the reason this sets it apart from everything else, is you can make an audio overview. So I'm just going to click that for a minute. And this does take a couple of minutes to do. So I'm going to let it run in the background. The cool thing about this is, let's say you are taking a grad class and you want to learn about the information that your instructor has sent you. And there's like 6 PDFs that are ginormous and you just don't have time right this minute to read them, but you do want to be ready for discussion in class. If you do this audio overview and you let it finish, what it creates is basically a podcast with 2 people having a conversation. And it does a really good job. You would hardly know that it's a podcast if I didn't tell you. And let's say you want to go out for a walk or you want to drive to school and you have a half an hour drive and you're like, oh, I don't have time to read. I need to be, brushed up on that. If I play this through my car or if I go out for a run, I can listen to everything that I'm supposed to be learning through audio. So it is really cool. So I'm going to give it a second and we're going to generate that and I'll show you what it sounds like. Okay, so now it's done and I'm going to show you what this audio overview sounds like. Check this out.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something tricky. We're going to cut through that alphabet soup of laws around students, the internet, and privacy.
Yes, BIPA, COPA, FERPA, they sound similar, but they're really quite different.
Exactly. These 3 little acronyms basically define everything from, what kids can click on at school to who actually gets to see their report cards.
It's pretty fundamental stuff, and our mission today really is to pin down what each one actually does. What's its specific job, who enforces it, what are the main rules.
Tell me that's not amazing. There's pauses, there's thinking, there's breathing. You would not know that these are AI voices. So this is a great way that now you can take that information that you had and you can hear it while you're multitasking. So one, that is awesome. Another option is you can do a mind map. So if I go to this one right here and I just click it, this one's pretty quick. It'll just take a second. It's going to take the information from those 4 sources that I uploaded. And once again, maybe you have 20. Maybe you only have 1. We don't know. If I click on it, it'll make a mind map from that information. So here you have your overview, and it talks about SIPA, and then there's categories on it, and then who governs it, and then it kind of breaks it apart. So if you're looking for a mind map from the information that you have, yet another awesome tool. You can download this, and it will ask you your location and saves it as a PNG file. So it becomes an image that you can use in just about anything that you would like to use. Really awesome. Go back to Studio. Flashcards. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll go to reports next. Reports, you can create your own. A briefing document, which is basically just an overview, a study guide, or a blog post. So I'm going to go, and there's more. There's other suggestions like key terms. All of this can help you use that material and study from it. So I'm going to click a short study guide. So it's using, once again, only those 4 resources, pulling that information and giving me what it thinks I should know in order to study and be prepared to discuss what those 4 documents covered. So here's my study guide. If I open it, it's going to give me a little quick, this is what it's about. Here's some questions it asks me. And here's the answer key. So it prepares me to answer these important questions. Once again, just helping you get ready. There's a quiz you can do. There's flashcards. I'm not going to run through them all. There's even a video overview that you can take a look at. Something to note, this does take a while to generate, so don't be in a hurry for it. We're going to let this run for a little while. Other things that you can do, there are flashcards. So I'll run that one, and also a quiz. Now the quiz is going to be similar to the study guide, so it's going to pull that information and give you questions to consider and think about. So we'll let these run and we'll take a look at what they look like. So here's the privacy quiz that it created. We'll take a look at the quiz, and it will give you some multiple choice questions. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through, and it tells you if it's right. I'll hit the next one. I'm going to go ahead and guess one that's wrong. It will tell you, hey, this is why. Go take a look at this. So it'll go through and give you some questions. Wow, I'm lucky guessing. I'm just clicking on them just to show you what it looks like. There's 10 questions here. So when you get done, let me fly through here. I'm just randomly checking, so I'm just clicking them. And there's number 10. When I hit done, it gives me a score, how many were right, how many were wrong. I can retake it, or I can go review it, and it will give me my feedback on each question. So it's a really cool way to kind of understand the really core important things about the resources you uploaded and to kind of quiz yourself. The other thing is you can do flashcards to practice. And what it will do is pull out interesting facts or terms. And then these are just flipping them over. The next one flips it over. So really quick study guides, things like that. So it's a really good tool for a lot of things. The last part we'll look at is this video as soon as it's done generating. Okay, so now my video has been created. So let's take a look at it. So it's called The Explainer, COPA versus FERPA.
You know, every time our kids go online, use an app, or even just sign up for school, their personal data is being collected. So who's actually watching over that information? Well, it turns out there are two major federal laws designed to do just that, but they have very different jobs. Today, we're breaking down the difference between COPA and FERPA.
And that is a huge question for any parent or educator.
So it's made a 6.5-minute video, and I can jump through it really quick. It gives you some information.
Look at the
so
is being tested.
Without me having to do any work, it's given me a 6.5-minute overview of some concepts of what I had uploaded. Really cool option and feature. The best part of all of these things that I've created is they're not just locked to me. I can go down to these 3 dots next to them, and I can share them with anybody. So just like any other Google Drive file, I can share them with people. Really cool and easy to use. Like maybe your kiddos are making flashcards, or you make them for them. You hit the share button, now you can share it with them. So anyhow, a really cool tool to take resources you already have and to create your own chatbot with it, all for free within your Google account. So go ahead and play around them. If you get into the reports, there's a lot in there you can look at. You can even create your own. So just keep that in mind. There's other things you can do. Some of them have interactivity buttons that allow you to ask questions while it's going on. A really cool way, especially for when you're focused on one thing and you really want to only look off the resources that you have. This is the way to go. So NotebookLM for the win.